As teens enter that tricky time when they begin to chafe for space, how can parents keep their teens close while still making them feel they have enough distance? Here with advice is WSJ Work Family columnist Sue Shellenbarger and a parent to an actual teen, Tracy Kurschner in Minneapolis. Welcome, ladies. Thanks so much for being with us. Sue, you say one answer to this tricky dilemma is to create a space at home where teens can hang out with their friends, a sort of teen cave. Where are some good places for this and not so good places for this?
Well, most parents put it in the basement or a family room. Some actually use just an open area, a bonus area on the bedroom floor. A garage can be used for this. Not so good spaces are the teen's bedroom, which really isn't appropriate anymore, or maybe a pool house, which is separate. For all the good intentions, it's hard for a parent to monitor kids in a pool house, especially at night.
Yes, a little too far away. And Tracy,
Right.
I understand you have a 15-year-old son who likes to play music and make videos with his friends. How did you accommodate this at home?
He actually made it up. One day he had one buddy over and they were starting to play a guitar. Pretty soon that turned into 2, 3. And one day I heard a drum set schlepping through the front door and they brought it down here. So it was very organic, and he knew that I just love having the kids around, and they seem to like it here too.
So you made them feel welcome. But Sue, what should the ground rules be for the teenagers? What should you tell them?
It's very important to set the ground rules in advance so you don't get into a tangle later on. Kids should know that parents can and will look in frequently and unannounced. They should set clear rules on, say, alcohol. There will be no alcohol in this room, just say it in a matter-of-fact way. And also, parents should think about their own needs. Over time, you don't want to be resentful if kids are there after 10 p.m. and maybe you're an introvert or you just need your quiet time. So make sure that you set rules you can live with over the long term.
All very important rules, but Tracy, how do you balance the need for those rules and the need to check in without scaring them away altogether? I mean, after all, you do want them to keep coming back.
Right. They know I'm going to walk in at any point at any time. And of course, I know what they're doing because I'm hearing drums and guitars. So I have a little bit of an advantage here. But they're great kids. And when I walk downstairs, what I usually hear from all of them is, "Hey, Mom, how you doing?"
Right. Oh, that's very nice to know. So I suppose offering food and treats can help them feel welcome, right, Sue? Are there any other tips to making the space feel welcome?
Massive amounts of food, as Tracy can attest to. Games, active games, in addition to screens and movies. Give the kids something to do that makes them move around. Make it cozy, big soft area rugs, pillows, and ask the kids what they like. One mom asked her daughter, and she said, "How about a wall-sized dry erase board?" And it turned into a great place for spontaneous artwork.
Sounds like fun. I want a teen cave. Tracy, do you need to also put aside your expectations for a spotless home, at least in that one room?
Yeah, it could get pretty bad. A couple weeks ago, I brought home a 5-pound bag of Halloween candy, and I yesterday was finding that Halloween candy wrapper in DVD boxes. I was like, why? There was juice boxes in the towel drawers. So you just. It's part of the puzzle, I guess.
You got to learn to live with that. Now, Sue, this is another important part of the puzzle. How should parents react to infractions? What sorts of punishments do you give a teenager?
Well, if a parent walks in on younger teens and they're doing something inappropriate, just right there say, "Okay, I'm calling your parents and you're all going to have to go home now." Talk to the teen about how this happened. A lot of times teens don't have control over what their friends are doing. Problem solve with them, help them figure out how they might have averted that or ask for help. And ultimately, the consequence should match the offense. If, for example, teens aren't going home by the curfew you set, maybe there aren't going to be any hangouts there for a while.
I like that you also mentioned having sort of a code word that they could text you when something's going on downstairs that shouldn't be, so you can come in and pretend you discovered it rather than they ratted on their friends.
Exactly. It's important to understand the sensitive place teens are in. They don't want to say no to their friends. At the same time, they really do respect your rules. So it's good to talk about ways to give them an easy out in situations like that.
I like that. Now, Tracy, it's clear that you enjoy having your son and his friends there. Are you going to miss all this when he goes off to college?
Oh, absolutely. He's the last of our litter, and my parents raised me the same way. I always wondered if people were coming over to see me when I was a kid or if they came to see my parents. So my hope is I have a 24-year-old daughter, and she still comes over with her friends. So hopefully it just doesn't end the day that they graduate from high school.
Well, that looks like a pretty cozy teen cave. I may come over for a little bit. So Sue and Tracy, thank you so much for that.
Thank you, Tanya.